Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 36 and today we continue our T20 Blast season. After a pretty promising start on our debut, we've continued our decent form in all competitions and now we're back for the third game of Yorkshire season as we try to get our first win in the competition. It's not been a good start for the team, but on a personal level we've been doing okay, and we will go and take a look at our showings in both the first class and T20 game we played off camera before we get into this one against Nottinghamshire. But firstly, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to follow the series. I really do appreciate it. I really am enjoying this Cricket 19 game and I hope you're enjoying the content. We'll be continuing with 3 episodes a week until the release of FM20, where we'll still have 2 weekly videos. We've also got our new FM20 plans coming out this weekend, so do keep your eyes peeled for that one. It'll contain a couple of votes which will allow you to shape some of the content on the channel next year, something I'm really looking forward to with the new game. But let's go and have a look at our player, see what happened in the 2 games off camera. We continue to improve and play really well, although the T20 showings as a county aren't great. Obviously the new Tournament 100 is taking place in real life from next year. I've no idea if it will be replicated in here, perhaps with a later update it may be, although I think we'll probably have to wait until the next game. But let's go back and look at the standings so I can show you exactly what happened last time round. Are we in Division 1? No we're not, so let's go and look at Pool B. In the last game we played Surrey and lost by 4 wickets, but it was a remarkable game for many reasons. We scored 27 runs off 19, not the worst start in the world. Again got out trying to play a lofted shot, but we managed to get man of the match somehow, and that's because we took 5 wickets for 22 runs. Our first 5 for in any form of the game. It just felt like Skittles, and they were big names we got out as well. If we go and have a look at the innings, Rory Burns, the England opener, Aaron Finch, one of the best T20 players in the world, one of the best one-day players as well, Mark Stoneman, who again has opened for England at various points, Sam Curran, who's an England test player, and Ollie Pope, who's of course being talked about for the England side. So 5 really big names we managed to get out there. A brilliant spell, but unfortunately it was to no avail, as the rest of our team couldn't take any wickets, and not many of them contributed runs either. Just Gary Balance and Jack Lean in scoring, but again in terms of Balance and the rest of the team, wasn't really particularly quick enough. You can see Mason Edward, the youngster, 8 up deliveries opening alongside us, and that's why we had to be more aggressive in the end. It ended up costing us our wicket, and you can see with the others they had to be more aggressive, but before that we lost more wickets in the middle overs. But let's also go and look at our first class game we played off camera, because that contains some very important moments as well. Let's go and have a look at the County Cup in round 12. We played against Leicestershire at Headingley and won by 130 runs, but that certainly didn't look on the cards, and it also managed us to get an achievement. It kept us at the top of the table and we're absolutely flying at this rate. We played against Leicestershire and after the first innings we looked in real trouble. Leicestershire put on 474, Aidan Doherty top scoring again. And in our first innings we only put on 298, which meant we actually had to follow on. But you can see we made a huge contribution to 422, and then we managed to bowl out Leicester cheaply in the second innings, which meant that we managed to get the victory. I'm not quite sure how it happened after the first innings, but the achievement we managed to win as a side was winning a match after being forced to follow on, and that's an absolutely outstanding achievement, something that of course doesn't happen too often. So let's go and have a look at how we got on in the match individually. In the first innings we bowled 5 overs for 28 runs, had the worst economy of our team. We really weren't at the races in that one, and unfortunately the visitors put on nearly 500. In our first innings we didn't do too badly, 31 runs off 35 balls. We really feel like we have to be more aggressive with Edward there, particularly when Joe Root isn't in the side either. Bairstow often saved us later down the order too, so I really am feeling a bit more pressure there, and I think it just showed in that innings. We weren't particularly at our best and could have been out 2 or 3 times beforehand. But the second innings is where it all came to life. We scored 178 off 193 balls. We were so slow to start with. We really took our time, leaving short balls and ones outside off stump, and once we got to 150 we just went nuts, which made our strike rate look better than it was. In the end Javid bowled us in both innings and Munsey the wicket-keeper took the catch in both, but after 178 we'd done the damage, and in the second innings we we didn't even get a bowl. Leicestershire were bowled out cheaply and Carver took 4 ducks at the end. Brilliant from the other spinner to take 5 wickets, and in the end he pipped us to man of the match. He got 9 wickets over the game, so we can't complain too much. So 2 really interesting games off camera, in 2 completely different forms of the game, but today we're back for T20 action against Nottinghamshire, so let's go and get into this match. 2 very evenly matched sides, and of course Nottinghamshire have got some big names as well. It's a medium standard pitch which we haven't actually had for a while, so let's go and get into this game and see if we can come out on top. Time for the toss here at Headingley, and Nottinghamshire have got the call. Again, not sure who our skipper is, I can't see that on the back of the shirt. Let's see what it lands. Yorkshire have won the toss, so whoever our skipper is, he's going to be deciding. And what's he going to go for on this standard pitch? Hopefully he'll bat first. He's chosen to bowl, and it's one of the bowlers actually who's the skipper, so we probably shouldn't be that surprised. So we'll be back in a moment to see if we get a chance to bowl. I'd like to hope so after our 5 for in the last game. So we're back for our first ball with the bat. We didn't get a chance to bowl in the end despite getting 5 wickets in the last game, and rather interestingly our opening partner and other part-timer Mason Edward, he did get an over in the first innings, so let's go and find out what we're chasing. Of course it's a relatively normal lineup for us. Adil Rashid coming in for the T20s. There's a couple of big players for Nottinghamshire as well, although they didn't perform so well on the day. So they saw out their 20 overs and finished 158 for 3, a relatively chaseable total, so we are going to have to be quite cautious in our approach and make sure we stay in for the later overs. No need to be trying to smash big 6s from the start, we can just work the gaps and try and play for 4s. If we have a look at the Nottinghamshire innings, Alex Hale's opening the batting with Ben Slater. Both of them got relatively low scores, 11 and 35 respectively. Mitch Marsh didn't get a chance to bat, but I'm sure he'll do well with the ball, although in the middle order Jake Libby and Lyndon James did most of the damage towards the end. A relatively low strike rate though, so it is something we hope to chase. It's only around 8 and over we've got to get to, and of course on a standard pitch that shouldn't be too much of a difficulty. So we're going to get back in and face the first ball to Fletcher. Judging by his run up he looks like a fast bowler, and hopefully there'll be enough gaps in the field for us so we can try and guide our side to victory. First ball of the innings then, it's the right armour over the wicket, full delivery, and it's got its usual leg side favour, and there's no bowlers out there, no fielders sorry, only one on the boundary and it was nowhere near him. So 4 to start the innings, we start as we mean to go on. Our strike rate's almost 160 over 2 games, but we like to get that average of 33 up. Both of our innings haven't been failures, but we haven't had any big knocks, although Fletcher's going to go for the same ball again I think, and although we don't connect with it perfectly, it is going to be another single. So 5 off the first 2 balls and Edwards on strike. Hopefully he'll be a bit more aggressive than in the past. Well, this is the problem again. A dot ball and then his wicket in terms of Edward. Didn't add any runs at all. It's a short ball which we hook away. Didn't get the right connection, but it will be one. Harry Brook's now at the other end joining us. He got a single off his first ball. We keep the strike and it's 7 for 1. Not the best start to the innings for Yorkshire. We're back to the medium pacer Coughlin this time. He's got a far shorter run up. It's another full delivery though, and it beats the outside edge. We're trying to work them to the leg side every time, although it probably wasn't the best option there. We can go through the covers, and if we beat the short cover man, we will get the boundary nonetheless. But of course that's easier said than done, as we don't connect with that one well either. It's Coughlin coming in over the wicket again. 2 dot balls so far in this over. The short one we've hooked away is just going to be 1, but at least we get off strike and allow Harry Brook to attack. 2 overs gone then, Harry Brook gets to 7, is doing quite well, but now we've got the international bowler coming in, Mitch Marsh around the wicket, and he's just outside off stump. A really good line and length, and we're unable to get him away. He stays around the wicket, but maybe we do have to try and work it to the leg side. We've also got that vacant region down to 3rd man, but with so many fielders on the slips, it's very hard to take that risk. The short one bounced up, so we got onto the back foot, and we played it away through the offside, and it goes between point and cover and rushes away to the boundary. The good thing with the quick bouncers like that, if you get anything on them, they're going to go miles. 4 more runs and we're into double figures, and now we're back on the run rate. Again we try and play outside off. This one's a slower ball which catches us out. Really good change of pace from the international, and as a result it's another dot ball. So just that 4 off the 4 balls for Mitch Marsh. He really is doing well at the moment. The short ball we hook away, but we don't beat the fielder, and in the end we have to scamper back and cancel that run very quickly. 4 runs would be a brilliant over for Mitch Marsh, but we'd really like to add 4 more with the last ball, or even if we can work it down to third man for a single, just to make sure we keep the strike next over. In the end we miss it completely though, it's through to the keeper, and with 3 overs gone it's 18 for 1. We've got a new bowler in and it's the left arm seamer Pennington. He's bowling wide outside off, we connect with it well but it's straight to the man at cover, and unfortunately it's not going to get any runs despite being a real clean connection. So Pennington's done really well to start with. Harry Brook got 5 runs off him, but he's eating up our deliveries. We're now 11 off 13, and we're now guilty of being the slower party. We just get this one away for the single. I think that's the approach we've got to take here. Feed the strike to Harry Brook, who's clearly in better form, and allow him to start smashing it round the park in the power play. Our bacon's been saved though, we're back an over later. Harry Brook's added 10 more in the last over. We face Pennington again and this one we can get away. The same approach again. We've got to learn when we're not ready to be star of the show. We're going to hit a single to the man in the deep and hopefully Harry Brook can score quick at the other end again. This time he just gets a single yet again, so unfortunately he's not helping us out quite so much. We need to avoid going through the offside where possible, though that one's worked out. Again, just fine of the man at cover, and it goes for 4 runs, which brings up our strike rate. We're now going at 1 a ball again. We're on 17 off 19, and although it's certainly not a disaster at this stage, it's not been the best start to the match so far, though I think we might sneak a boundary there. The fielder can't quite catch up with it, and it's 4 runs to finish off the over, but it's been a very streaky inning so far. Fletcher charging in then as all the fielders have gone out on the leg side, so we're trying to play those controlled strokes, but the short one was just too quick, so it's only going to be a little single with Harry Brook back on strike. What I didn't realise is it was the last ball of the over, so we're now back on strike for the first one of Pennington's, and again we're playing that controlled stroke, and this one surely is going to be 2. The fielder's got there very quick, we're going to have to cancel it. He was lightning in from the boundary there, and he restricted us to just 1. Hopefully Harry Brook can score quick again, otherwise we're going to be in a world of trouble. And we are, because he's only got 1 off 2 balls, and again the field's exactly the same, and this is where I think, do I need to take risks? But hopefully on this occasion we can nick 2. That fielder is so quick from the infield. He's got 30 yards covered before we've even run a single. Brilliant work coming in from the boundary, and after 8 overs we're on 58 for 1. We need 101 from 72 balls. The strike rate's not been good enough so far, and we try to play to third man but we don't beat the man at point. We try to go through the offside, get it completely wrong, and it's just a single. Thankfully he was diving and didn't throw it straight away, otherwise there could have been a chance for a run out. 9 overs gone, the current run rate 7 and over. We need over 8.5 now. It's a medium pacer in, so we're trying to play the controlled shots. We wanted to get 2 off every single ball, but at the moment I'm holding up the side. Going at 1 a ball, 25 off 25, and it's just not good enough while Harry Brook's flying at the other end, though we're hopefully going to get 2 here, but again they're quick in from the boundary. Just a single, Harry Brook back on strike, and we need him to produce a magical innings. Into the 11th over, and Harry Brook's responded at the other end. 50 off 35 for him, a rare half century, and he's done it at the right time. But again, every time we played these control shots, we're not able to get 2 due to the brilliance in the field of Nottinghamshire, and we're going to have to think of a different approach here. I think we might have to be aggressive. If Harry Brook gets out, we've got to go for it. He's now on 54 off 37. There is space down the ground if we want to go for a big one, or we could try and go through the offside as well. Or we could go for our standard shot, the one that beats the fielder on the leg side, but on this occasion it doesn't beat him at all, and it is just going to be 1 more. Harry Brook is absolutely flying, 62 off 42, we're now on 28 off 1 a ball. This one's a wide, so we'll get out the way, and hopefully we can get some free runs. We very much need them at this point. Mitch Marsh will have to bowl this one again then. Actually been one of the most expensive bowlers for them so far. This one's outside off and we play down the ground, but it doesn't beat the fielder at deep mid off, and it is just going to be another single. Hopefully Harry Brook comes to the rescue yet again, and we can just be there at the end playing 1 a ball. He's now on 69 off 46. He's really trying his best for us. This one's outside off, and again we try and beat dead mid off, but it's only gone for a single yet again as the fielder gets round to stop it in the circle. Yorkshire bring up 100. We now need 60 off 42 balls. I don't know if we're going to get there. I think we're going to have to push the aggressive button in a minute. 13.1 overs gone, and again we've started with a dot ball. We're getting close to that run rate, but it's purely because of Brook at the other end. We just get a single to put him back on strike. Oh, he's doing the job. He's 79 off 50 now. Harry Brook to the rescue. What a legend. Do we go attacking or do we just stay in? I thought that one was going to be a wide. It's hit us, but we're going to have to make sure we get through. It's another single and it's completely undeserved, but at least we're getting closer to that required total. The fast-paced bowler Pennington's coming in. It's a full one outside off stump, and we finally beat the infielders. It runs away to the boundary through cover point, and we've got ourselves 4 more to go back above 100 and to get Yorkshire back on target for their total. 44 required off 34 balls, and we're on 35 off 34 ourselves. This one's outside off, and we try to play down to third man. We do it comfortably, it's just a single. Harry Brook can now chase his century. He's put us back in at the other end with a single. It says free hit, I don't know whether to trust it. We're going to go for it either way. It's a short ball and we play at it hard, and it goes between the 2 fielders anyway. Runs away to 4 on the offside, and this has been a very unique innings for us in that sense. Yes, it's been a bit streakier, but we've had so many boundaries to the offside out of our runs, and that's a really good sign for us moving forward. We're now on 40 off 36 deliveries. We really are starting to speed up a bit, and this one's through the leg side just for a single, but that's pretty much all we need at this point. There's 5 overs left. We need just 32 off 30. We're going to try and go big down the ground. The man at mid-on's trying to get around. He can't quite catch it, but it falls safe for a single. Harry Brook's back on strike on 84, and we'd like him to try and get a century. Unfortunately, he just gets 1 off the next 3 though, and that's starting to make things look difficult again. We're going to go down the ground for the second time. This time the connection's a little bit better, although it's not completely perfect. The fielder in the deep is chasing it, but he won't beat it to the boundary. 4 runs and it was a little bit streaky, but we're going aggressive when it matters, and we're getting a little bit of luck we need. It's 46 off 39 for us now, 1 boundary away from a half century. We play this one to the offside, a short ball above our heads, and it's just going to be a single to bring Brook back on strike, and that's a good way to finish the over, as in fact we'll now face the next delivery. Mullaney continues around the wicket. There's space on both sides if we can find it, but we've missed the connection again, and now it's 25 off 22, and it's all starting to go wrong at the wrong time. We're getting under a little bit of pressure and crumbling. Who was worried at 31 off 32 balls? I know I certainly was, but now we've missed 3 in a row, and perhaps we need to worry again. We just need to find a way to get off strike. Harry Brook's flying at the other end. We were flying in the last over. We just need to find a 4 from somewhere. That full delivery we've not connected with well, but it is going to be a single. We won't even try and run the second. 3 overs to go and we're back needing 21 off 18, but Harry Brook got himself out and Jack Leaning's now back at the crease. A full delivery's just missed off stump. The pressure's on us and we've got to be aggressive now, and I don't know if we've got it in us. I think we're just going to go the aerial route, because us getting out might be the best thing at this point. I know we'd like a half century, but you never know. We've gone for a big one though, and it's flown for 6. It went right towards the fielder. I was getting very worried, but we beat the fielder and get our first 6 on camera. And what a time to do it to bring up 50. 54 off 46, and now we need less than 1 a ball, so we can just find a single anywhere and we can go back to our normal game. 15 required off 15 balls. Luke Fletcher coming in, full delivery, and we play it down to deep mid off, and it's just a single to bring Leaning on strike. Hopefully he'll score at least 1 a ball. Jack Leaning's certainly done his job. We're back with 11 balls left and we need just 6 runs. Leaning got 8 off 2. This one's a wide outside leg stump, and Mullaney's going to have to bowl that one again, as well as taking us 1 closer to our total. There's space down the ground and on the leg side for easy singles, so there's no need to take risks at this point. We want to stay not out and improve our average. The short ball hits us on the hip again, but we run through for a quick single, and Leaning will face the next delivery. It hasn't counted as a run unfortunately, but we are still 55 off 50. We'll try and play one to the leg side from this full ball. Are we going to beat the fielder? We're not, it's just going to be 1. Jack Leaning back at the other end. Leaning returns the favour with a single. Just 3 required off 8 now. We try down the ground and we find the fielder in the deep. Another one, we're just 2 from victory, and surely we can't throw it away from here. We're going to be not out at the end if we do everything right. No need to take a risk and get out now. So fingers crossed we'll just come back to see we've won. But we don't, as Leaning's got himself out and David Willey's in at the other end. So 2 required off 6. There's space down the ground, but we're certainly not going big. We just play to the leg side for a single, and now the scores are level with 5 balls left. David Willey's just got to hit 1 from somewhere, and he can be the hero that guides us to victory. There you go, we did it 2 balls later. Adam Life did it in the end though, so David Willey got out and then Life hit 2 off the next ball. But we're 58 not out, a really good finish in the end. And we were worried about going a bit slowly in that innings, but in the end we were the anchor and let Harry Brook be the hero. He smashed 87 off 57, and there's no point keeping your teammate off strike when he's playing as well as Harry Brook was. So our first win in the T20 Blast this season, a really decent result, and fingers crossed we can build on that and do well in the competition and try and edge our way through to the finals. You can see on the Career Hub we've got another first class game coming up, and then we've got at least 4 T20s in a row, so we'll try and get through a couple off camera before coming back, obviously unless there's any major batting milestones. But if you did enjoy this episode and that anchor innings against Nottinghamshire, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Of course, on a number of occasions this year we have been star of the show for Yorkshire, so it was really nice to take a back seat and play the other role, doing what our teammates should have in other games, just staying in and realising your teammates in form. We put him on strike and he delivered a man of the match display, and in the end we got through the innings at a strike rate of just over 100 and played the support role that our team desperately needed. Now we're off the mark in the T20 tournament. Hopefully there'll be plenty of confidence across the team, and I'm sure that will reflect in our next few displays as we try to do what we did in the One Day Cup. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my Torquay United story. New episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30 as we chase that elusive Champions League trophy. And then on Saturday this week at 4:30, keep your eyes peeled for FM20 plans. We'll have reaction to features and some announcements about our plans, as well as our schedule for the game. And there's also a couple of votes in there to help you shape the content on the channel next year, so make sure you come and check that one out, as I'm really looking forward to FM20. There's also 3 episodes a week from this Cricket 19 career, the next one of course on Saturday at midday. We'll continue with that schedule until the release of FM20, where we'll drop the regular Thursday episode and continue with the other 2 each week. And then finally our Snooker 19 career continues, that's on Friday at 4:30. We're in the final event of the series now, the big one, the season ending World Championships, and we're trying to finish the series in glory, so come and check out if we can do so. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the T20 Blast as much as I am, and we'll be back next time for more action from it.